tastes like Jesus. Hey guys, Adam the Paranormal Polynesian here, and today we're going to make another killer keto recipe. So, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a fat ass. I gained about 45 pounds during the quarantine, if you know what I'm saying. I need to get those pounds off. It's no secret that the keto diet works for many people, and it worked for me. I mean, a few years ago I lost 80 pounds, and although I've gained half of it back, I have a show coming up. And I can't be the fattest person on the stage. I mean, I will be no matter what. But, I always love to have a goal. And my goal was to lose 25 pounds before the show starts next week. I will say, though, I've lost 20 pounds, so I've got 5 more to go. So when I'm doing the keto diet and I'm being strict with it, there's a few things that I just love to have every week or two. This is one of those things. This is the Zuppa Toscana like you would have at the Olive Garden. Have you been to the Olive Garden? Well, if you haven't, you're not missing out. But a lot of people, I used to work there for years, so I can say that. It's a shit show. A lot of people, their favorite thing to eat at the Olive Garden is the Zuppa Toscana soup. So I'm going to show you how to make a keto version that is completely guilt-free. It's got bacon. You cannot tell the difference between this and the regular Zuppa Toscana. So the only difference is we're using cauliflower instead of potatoes. We're going to use the pressure cooker to do everything. I'm going to brown the bacon and the sausage and onion in this pressure cooker. Then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients and just let it go for about 25 minutes. And this will be done completely start to finish within half an hour, 45 minutes. So it's a very easy meal to make on a weeknight. Tonight's Monday, so I'm gonna stick this in the pressure cooker and then leave it for when Barney gets home. Now, I don't know why, I still talk to so many people that are scared of pressure cookers. They're not your grandma's pressure cookers anymore. They're so safe, they're so easy. If you've never used a pressure cooker, just give me a call and I'll help you. It's a matter of just twisting the lid and pressing a button. And you walk away. And you can get the same result as you would in a crock pot in 6 to 8 hours in less than an hour. So it's excellent. So let's just go over the ingredients. For this soup, you're going to use 1 pound of Italian sausage, either spicy or mild is fine. Half a package of bacon. We're going to cut that up with some scissors so it's easy. A stick of butter. Yes, a stick. We're on the keto. Half an onion diced. A head of cauliflower. And a bunch or two of kale. This is not enough kale. I would do at least double this, but this is all I have today in the fridge. Then you're going to add 2 containers, 32 ounces each of chicken stock, half a cup of whipping cream. We're going to use garlic, some seasoned salt, and the crushed red pepper. That is definitely the secret ingredient that makes it special. And then I think we're going to add a cup of water to this. We might even do a cup and a half or 2. It just depends. I'll take a look at how things are going. Whew. Okay, so I just grabbed a stool to sit at the table. Wait, island, whatever this thing's called. So I'm in frame and not standing like a crazy person. I'm gonna just scoot these veggies over here. Those will go in at the end. The vegetables go in at the end, so minus the onion. So I'm just going to cut this in half and maybe I need a sharper knife, huh? I picked this one because it was so damn expensive and cute, but it's... What are you beeping for? Let's try this knife out. See if it's any better. Oh, for God's sakes. So what are you guys up to? I'm just cooking dinner. So, the only ghost stories I have for you today, other than losing most of my YouTube channel last week, which is a ghost story in itself, I've been having some weird stuff going on at the house. Since we've moved in here, we've had a lot of auditory things, a lot of knocking on our doors and windows. I was trying to think of what caused all of this. One thing I'll tell you about me is that any house we've ever moved to, we've had hauntings. So it's definitely attached to me. But I will say that since I brought a certain someone in the house out of storage, things have been acting up even more in the house. So that's this guy right here. This is going to a friend of mine who actually collects haunted things. I bought this in the Bahamas, and not in a touristy area either. I was on my way visiting Anna Nicole Smith's grave with my aunt. We took a taxi. Oh, that's a story for another day. Okay, it's a story for today. I was obsessed with Anna Nicole Smith back in the day. And when she died, I was like so upset about it. And then like the whole story with her son dying and her dying at the same time, pretty much, you know, it's such a sad story. And I used to watch the reality show she was on. Like, I knew she was a hot mess, but, you know, no one deserves to die. It was a very sad story. So I went to go see her grave, found this at a little shop on the street. We went to go look at the grave, and a guy came up to us with a machine gun, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And so I had to make up a story. I'm like, "Oh, I'm friends with Anna. I just came to see her grave. I'm in town." And he's like, "You have 2 seconds." And so he held like a machine gun at us. My aunt came backing me up. This happened. So I paid my respects and left. And I took a photo, and apparently that's not allowed either. So then he tried to kill us again. But we got out of there, and we got back to a restaurant in time to eat some conch, which if you've never had it, don't. It's not great. Ooh, by the way, I've got the pressure cooker on. There's a setting for browning. So we're just gonna brown the meat first, and then we're gonna switch the mode to soup, and we'll make soup. Okay, so now that onion's in the pot, I'm going to put a stick of butter in. And I know it's a lot of butter, but hey, live a little. I can't have any sugar, I might as well be able to get some damn butter, you know what I'm saying? Just gonna put that in there. And we're gonna cut up the bacon. I know I said half of a thing of bacon, but for me personally, I'm gonna do less than that because I want some left for breakfast. By the way, if you guys are making pork or any sort of meat, please don't use the same cutting board for your vegetables. That's a fast track to salmonella. I'm cutting this bacon with scissors because I hate cutting bacon. Anyone who's ever cut bacon knows what I'm talking about. So anywho, back to my story. I got that freaky looking doll in a store because I'm obsessed with creepy looking things. And then I cry about my house getting haunted afterwards. See, I'd be getting haunted regardless, but I will say since that doll, that figurine has been in our house, a lot of weird stuff has been going on with knocking. So the other night my husband, he woke up and ran down the stairs. He heard a bunch of knocking at the front door, and I was sitting in the living room over there and I didn't hear anything. Now, if you know my husband, nothing wakes him up. So I was kind of freaked out because as that was happening, the cats were standing at the front door making horrible, crazy ass sounds, but no knocks. Actually, I think I have some footage from that night that I'll show you right now. Let's just take a look at it. Haunted house update number 3, I think. Why can't I catch this shit on the camera? That's what I want to know. Okay, so Barney just came down the stairs 15 minutes ago saying that someone was pounding on the front door. Right as that was happening, 2 of my cats here, the cats, they were standing looking right over at that door, and they were losing their goddamn minds, although nothing was happening. However, I knew there was something here. Then he runs down and says that someone was knocking on the door and it woke him out of a dead sleep. Now, he's my husband and nothing can wake him up like that. What I didn't tell him was that earlier today I was taking a bath when he was at work, and I could hear someone knocking downstairs, and it was coming from inside the house, so I thought he was coming home again, and he was at work. Because I ran downstairs, nobody was here. Coincidence? In this house? I don't know. I guess stay tuned to see what else happens. I wish I could catch the I'm gonna install cameras. That's what I'm gonna do. Camera time. So yeah, I don't know what's going on in our house. I'm adding the bacon to the butter and the onions. Now that I think of it, you should have put the butter in after you browned the meat, because now the meat's not gonna brown because I put that butter in too soon. So it's all gonna taste fine, but if you want that delightful brown that you get, don't add the butter till after. That was my mistake. So in goes the sausage as well. And be sure to break that up so you get nice chunks. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'll tell you what, I hated working at Olive Garden, but I definitely learned a lot about cross-contamination there, so we're probably gonna brown this for 10 minutes, and then we'll add our other ingredients. Okay, so I'm recording on my phone, and someone just called me in the middle of the last 5 minutes I was speaking, and they erased everything. I don't know what that shit's about, but pretty much all you missed was me telling you that my house is haunted. I've been having things following me around my whole life, but since I've had that little figurine in this house, things have been going crazy. Lots of knocking on doors, walls, windows, and I was explaining that since we've moved into this house, I've been hearing a lot of sounds, and so is my husband, where we think it's one another, but we're not in the house, and so that's kind of unnerving. I've never been threatened, but it is creepy to hear your husband in the garage coming in, and we had a broken garage door for a while because of this house, and I could hear that broken garage door, and when I'd go out to see him, he wouldn't be in the house, and he wouldn't be home for another few hours. So I've been hearing that quite often. So whatever's in this house is definitely making a lot of noise. Okay, so back to the veggies. What I was telling you guys is with the kale, you don't want the stems when you're doing the soup. I wish I had more, but I pretty much just take the knife and just glide it down the stem, and it will come right off. This much kale right here, this is not enough kale. You're gonna want double that or triple. It's just all I had in the fridge at the moment. So now we're just gonna cut up the cauliflower into big chunks, get rid of that stem, and try not to cut yourself. I'm just going to show you in the pressure cooker. We've browned our sausage, our bacon, and our onions in a stick of butter. I forgot to add the garlic. Just do like a tablespoon. Whoops, I love garlic. Pardon me. Just mix that in. I think it's time now. We're just going to add our chicken stock, so our chicken broth. So we're going to add 2 32-ounce containers. Just pour that in. But yeah, also, a few weeks ago I went over to visit Skinwalker Ranch, and when I came back I was bleeding from something that I don't know how I was cut, and that's going to be another episode on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But what I'm trying to get at is every time I've ever gone to Skinwalker Ranch, I've had stuff come home with me, and on that particular night, I remember there was knocking at all the windows around the dining room and living room here, and then also coming from the window in my office on the other side of the house. And it wasn't the wind. Yeah, it's very weird. So I just figured, on this series, we're just gonna cook and talk. I'll be sharing a lot of my ghost stories. I have so many over the years because I was a paranormal investigator. I have been asking, but if you guys have stories you'd like to share with the other viewers, send that to me at adamtaula@gmail.com, and I'm happy to discuss them and read them here while we're cooking. So that'll be our fun little thing we do here on the Ghostly Gourmet. So we've got the chicken broth in with the meat, And then this head of cauliflower, we're just gonna do a very rough chop, like I'm quartering it, and then I'm quartering those quarters, and that's it. I don't wanna cut it any more than that because this will get soft very quickly. So we're gonna put this into the pan as well. So just stick that in there like that. Give it a good stir. Now that the cauliflower and everything but the kale and the whipping cream is in the soup, don't put that until the very end or it can curdle. We're gonna put the lid on this guy. I'm not gonna salt this soup until after it's been finished. Also, I'm gonna add just a glass of water. This is roughly a cup or so. You know what? I'm gonna be crazy. I'm gonna do 2 of these. It's fine, trust me. We're gonna put the lid on this. I'm saying how easy it is to use, but I'm doing it backwards, so let me get in front of it. Oh, good Lord. It's so easy, can't you tell? Oh. Huh. If you align the arrows, that helps. Awesome. I'm gonna stick this over to soup, the soup option, or your PSI needs to be low, like a PSI 12. I'm gonna let that go for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to press the cancel button and let the pressure release on this thing. Then we're gonna add the kale and the whipping cream. So I officially hate my iPhone because it just deleted another 5 minutes of me chatting away for nothing. But pretty much what I just said was, you're gonna add the kale in the soup and keep it on warm. It's all cooked. Season it to taste. Don't forget your red pepper flakes. That's what makes it that Zuppa Toscana delicious flavor magic. And then I added half a cup of heavy whipping cream to this and just kind of stirred it in. It is important that you make sure that you don't put that whipping cream in until after the soup has cooked, or you're gonna have some weird results. And then I just top it off with some fresh grated Parmesan cheese. That's not fresh, it came out of a thing. But do you see it? Can you see how delicious that looks? Do you want a bite of that? I know I do. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this very easy midweek recipe. I think it took 45 minutes from start to finish to make this. And this is enough to feed at least a family of 6 or me for 2 days. Thanks for sticking it. That's really hot. Yeah, don't do that. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time on the Ghostly Gourmet. Remember to keep it paranormal. I'll see you later. I'm gonna eat this now. Let's just taste it. Ooh, it tastes like Jesus. It's delicious. Oh, that's good. It made my finger go like this. Why don't you like and subscribe so you can get those notifications, girl? Tell all your friends about me and keep it paranormal.